Hello there. I will now show you how to make macro libraries with ForLoopWithBreakAndDelay, ForEachLoopWithBreakAndDelay, and WhileLoopWithBreakAndDelay in Unreal Engine. The version I used is 5.6.1. What you want to start with is to make a custom macro library. So blueprint macro library. Make sure it's the object class. BML object macro file. The reason you want to have it as object is that you can use it on every child of objects. Rename the macro you are served to for loop with break and delay. Right click, add a for loop with break. We add the inputs here to the inputs. Same with the outputs. We double click this to get the standard for loop. We select all, Control A, right click, collapse nodes. If you have bad memory like me, take a screenshot. We need to remember how this is connected because we will copy this node and Control Z to put it back to like it was. And here we will paste it in our custom library. Now I need to find my screenshot. There it is. So we will connect it like it was in the screenshot. We can delete this one. So this was like that. And this was like this. Now we right click the collapse node and we expand it. So now we have quickly copied it instead of having to do back and forth, back and forth. We want to add the delay on the true node here. Delay. We will add the float value to input. We select the input. If you drag here, we can rearrange it so we get the break on the bottom again. We rename duration to delay. Delay. This. Save. Save all. So let's test this. We can make just like a standard actor. You can call this PP loop test. Let's pull it into the level so it will actually do something. Tail screen. On begin play, we can drag off and we can search for loop with break and delay. Just a macro. So let's say we can go for last index is 3. We can delay 1 second. And for each loop, we can print string. And we can do a format text. And let's say we get the index. And we want at game time. And then we will just add the game time as a float value. Then we can see that the delay is what's supposed to be. So add the index there. Right click, get game time in seconds. Add that there. So this should now print up the index and the game time. Yeah, so it stopped at 3 like we wanted. So that's working. Let's add the next macro. That will be for each loop with break and delay. We will do that the same way as we did the for loop. So we say for each loop with break. We will add all the inputs and all the outputs. We will double click this like we did the other one. Control A to select everything. Right click, collapse nodes. Take a screenshot. Select the collapse node, copy it, Control Z to put it back together. Go back to your custom library, delete the for node for each node. Paste in the collapse node, and we put it back together. Let's see. I need to find my screenshots. There is. Yeah, like this. This was completed. This was loop. Like that. Right click it. Expand node. So now we have copied this. We want the delay from this sequence. Then one delay. And like the other one, we will pull the float value up to input. Rearrange it so break comes back to the bottom. And rename duration to delay. Save. So we can now go back to our tests here. And we can search for each loop. If I could actually spell. For each loop with break and delay. So we can put the delay here to 1 second. We can make a variable here. Let's see, text to print. Make it a text variable and make it an array. Compile, and we can add like and subscribe. Add this to the array, and we can copy this. The index can be this. We can rename it, of course, but it doesn't really matter because it's just naming this one. Save. So when we play this now, this should now play this one. Like and subscribe. Yeah, so 0, 1, 2. The next thing we want to do is to add the while loop. So go back to your macro library, add new macro, and we call this while loop with break and delay. Save this. And we right click here, and you guessed it, we add a while loop. We add inputs, and we add the outputs. Double click it. Select all. Collapse nodes. I don't think I need a screenshot of this. I should be able to remember it. And Control Z to get it back together. We can delete this, paste it, and we just do this. Right click it and expand on. Something like this. For the delay, we want to add that from then one here. Delay. We add the duration to inputs. We rename it to delay. So now we have a while loop with delay, but we do not have the break functionality. We can borrow that from ForEachLoop or ForLoopWithBreak. So if we go back to the standard library, we can copy this part here. So they use like a local boolean here and assigning this. And we will also take the not and the and value. So we copy that, we go back to our custom while loop. We will add the condition into the and we will have the and go to the condition on the branch, like this. The assign, we will move here to the assign false value, and the assign true value we will get from the from a new input called break. So we add a new input on the type execution pin, and we rename it to break. And the break will assign the local booleans to true. So when this is true, it will become false, and then this will become false and be completed. So this will break it. Save all. And we can now go back to our test actor. We can now add a while loop with break and delay. So let's have like a timed thing here. We can add a sequence, and we can have a delay that will just break it, basically. So after 5 seconds, it will break it. We have to have this condition to be true for this test, and delay 1 second. So here we can say print string, and here we just print like, and when completed, say and subscribe, while save, and we can now try this. Like, and split. There we go. So the while loop also worked. Since we now use this as an object, we can also use this on like widgets. So if we just break this part here, or just delete this from the level, we can add a widget blueprint of user widgets. We can call this widget loop test. And we can basically just copy this part here, just to check the loop, the while loop part, while loop with break. So on construct, which is basically on begin play, we do this. And on the player, open whatever player you're using in your level. On begin play, create widget, select the widget you've made. Mine was loop test, and remember to add 2 viewports. Save here. It doesn't have any graphics, but so now it does the same here. Yeah, so that seems to be working. Perfect. Right, so now you have all these useful macros available to all the objects. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just leave it in the comments, and take care.